Oh my gosh. The breaking news, FISA just said that um, they were spying on people from, I mean, this doesn't surprise anyone, but FISA just said they were spying on. FISA review document reveals foreign intelligence surveillance was used to illegally spy on Americans involved in J6. Yeah. What's happening in America right now, you guys? I mean, I heard, 107 said near death of America, but I really I never thought it would be exposed that we are like these little guppies. Like we are the goldfish. We thought we lived in this free America and we're finding out we are these little goldfish swimming our own shit. We got to get free. We got to figure this out. I'm gonna bring Westwood in to help me out on this. We got to stand up. We got to say enough, guys. I'll be right back. Give us a like, share this video. It's time to say enough. Okay, there are 17 people watching. I'm very happy about that. Cheers to everybody. Happy hour. Remember to grab something red and grab a drink. It is Hunter Indictment Happy Hour Day. They are going to be turning in all of the they had the beginning of it, the kickoff today for Hunter Indictment Happy Hour Day. And then they're turning in all the proof to the, oh gosh, I can't remember what the committee's called. They have to turn it in through a certain process for it to be legal and whatever. And then they have 5 days to do that. I'm sure it's business days or working days or whatever. So by next Friday,
next month.
What's that? Next
They're
month?
probably going to take a recess. I mean, for Christmas here soon. So do those days count, or are they going to work? They'll probably put it off until January.
No. Next Friday.
All right. It's the court system, or is it the? I don't know.
Next no, Friday. Right. No, don't be. I can't take any more negativity.
I'm kicking the keg.
No, I cannot take any more negativity today. It has to be. This is happening.
Oh, hang on.
So by next Friday we should have, and there's this little hopium happening.
Get the leg up. No, can't do it.
Get a leg up. Maybe even by Wednesday. I don't know. They said 5 days, so I'm not sure what days they were talking about, but it will go through whatever committee it had to properly for the proof to land in the laps that it should and be exposed publicly, because that's to give public disclosure to the details that are in the documents. So the guys gave the testimony today, and that was pretty hard to listen to. Like, those whistleblowers are really brave. It was really horrible to listen to what those agents went through. Like, the one guy was like, I mean, his whole person. So a guy is doing his job, his job, and then the media thrashes his personal life. Apparently he's gay, and they drug out and attacked his spouse, who he's like LGBTQ, or, well, I guess you're not all those vowel or consonants or whatever, but he's gay and married, and they were attacking his husband and his lifestyle and whatever.
Isn't that a hate crime?
I thought so. So I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, it's a hate crime.
What is happening here? Like, even when the rules are in the way they, I don't know. It was just bizarre, but he was really humble, and he was really brave and just really factual. And he's like, they're accusing me of stuff that I'm just doing my job. I'm just reporting, doing this. So they are
protected as a whistleblower.
Yeah.
For this very reason, because you're going to get intimidated by the employer, the ruler, the vampire in charge.
Yeah.
VIP, vampire in charge.
Wow. Wow. Crazy stuff, crazy. But it is all laid out there, and that's what God, and then old, ugh, AOC got on there, and she's like, "Do we really care, though? I mean, it's talking about Hunter and not really his dad."
It's water under
And
the bridge. It's over. Move along.
yeah, and
Move along.
I mean, these are just conspiracy theories that keep getting pulled up here, and it's like, did you just hear what what they just said happened? $17.3 million dollars paid by China to the Biden family, like multiple Biden members. And clearly, like Joe Biden was going to share office space with CCP members.
It's
Like,
just, it just makes more
it was
sense. You don't want to waste the
insane.
space. Just, sublet it.
Oh my
Paid for,
God.
paid for by the CCP. I'm Joe Biden. Paid for by the CCP.
Well, and so even before we got started here, JB was having trouble finding the stream, and he was like, I'm subscribed and I have the notifications on. And he didn't get a notification, couldn't even
Oh, good. I,
find my
I never get it.
channel.
I don't get it.
Um, we think we live in America. What's happening here? Like, this is when I was a little girl
It's
growing.
bizarro America.
Yeah, growing up in Lake Havasu, and we would do the town parade, and we'd all, everybody had a flag, and we were so proud to live in America, home of the free, land of the brave. You know, we grew up thinking that China was this terrible place where nobody, I mean, I remember, becoming a Christian and learning about how sad it was in China that they had to like go underground and meet under houses in private to read the Bible because they could be
Get
killed. And
executed.
yeah, oh my gosh, how terrible to have not have freedom of speech. And
Finish your dinner. There's somebody in China starving.
yes, yes,
Starving children in China.
that's right. All of that.
Look at me. Look what happened. Now I'm like 20 pounds overweight.
And eating all the coconuts you can find.
Yes.
Um, and now
Bananas and
I'm like,
coconuts. Raw
what?
chocolate.
What in the world? What's happened?
It's all effed up. They turned it all upside down because that's what they do. They invert everything because they're, dare I say, satanic beasts.
They
They're
are.
not. I mean, they really are. They're just a bunch of corrupt sickos. They really are.
Did you?
Diversity is the key to our success. Yeah, because they can divide and conquer you. Then they
Mhm.
want all these different isolated cultures so they can pit them against each other, and that's what they do. They completely do that. They just manipulate you. They say, "Oh, we love diversity." Well, of course you love diversity because now you can put us in camps and start pitting us against each other over stuff you make up.
Right. Diversity is great if we
It
just
is,
accept
but
that we're all
look the way they
human.
look at it. They're not saying it the way you believe
Yeah.
it. They're inverting
Right.
it and they're doing it that way so they can divide you and use
Right.
stuff against you. Oh, I hate this group because of this. Oh my gosh, Palestine versus Israel.
Yeah,
Let's
I
go kill
saw
people.
some crazy person calling for reparations today and for slavery reparations. Oh gosh, who
Well, we
was
all should. We all got them coming at this point. It's just
it?
you know, which
In a
who's the
different
greater
way. Yeah.
slave at this point? I mean, really, we're all enslaved in
Oh,
some way, mentally, physically,
yeah.
spiritually,
Um, I posted on the
ancestrally.
Telegram channel, and I think I talked about it on one of the shows this week. I can't tell if I've talked about something on Telegram or if I've talked about it on a show or if I've just talked about it to friends. Like I when I'm talking about stuff and talking about it to people, I'm so passionate about it, and I've had a lot of meetings this week, and I've had meetings on other shows, and so my life is kind of like crossing over like this where I'm like, "Wait, did I tell my community on my show that, or did I say that on somebody else's show?" So,
That's what happens when you get old. You tell so many people stuff, you can't remember who you told. You know how it is, your parents?
I
They tell you all
Thanks
this
for
stuff.
bringing
It's
that
like
up,
you already
Wesley.
told me
I
that.
appreciate it.
So you told everybody that 10 times. You told me that twice. It's like you
I
tell so
may
many people you
have.
can't remember. No, I'm not in your case. I'm just
It
we
may
all
be.
know people like that
It
though.
happens.
And when
Yeah.
you start doing that, you start thinking, my God, how old am I? Am I really doing this?
It may be a thing. Did you guys have I told you guys, have I showed you the Nasera Jacera Jean Ho thing? Where
Don Ho. Oh, Gene Ho.
so yes, I did.
I saw part of it. Yeah. I did.
Okay.
I watched it. Yeah. You posted it somewhere. I don't know where I saw
So
it.
then I must have done that on the day with Sean because he has a story about Don
Maybe
Ho.
that's it. Yeah, I did see. Oh, does he? I didn't even see the Don Ho thing, but no, I watched part of the Tuesday. Yeah, and then I
Yeah,
saw
so it
you.
was
Yeah, I saw.
Tuesday,
That's where
so
I saw it.
I
Yeah.
have done that. So if you haven't seen that, go watch the Tuesday show. But Jean Ho, like that's pretty significant. Jean Ho is Donald Trump's personal, like family, very trusted uh personal photographer. And he says the
Better trust
words
that guy.
Nasera Nasera.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, is it a deep fake? Is it AI? I mean, what's happening here? Because he's
Well,
like throwing it
that's
out
a
there.
possibility.
I
That
don't
is a
know anymore.
possibility.
I don't know what's real or what's not real. We watch anyway. I know it's real here when I'm around it, but I don't know when I watch it what's real anymore. So I'm like, okay, I'm just like hermiting. I'm like disconnecting from everything because I don't know if it's real or not when I leave the house.
You and Bix.
Yeah, kind of.
I'm like trying to get
Soul
him to do
brothers.
something for Christmas.
Nope.
He's like, I'm not leaving.
I'm like, nope, nope. But it's just a click of a mouse. Get the airline ticket. No.
Yeah, click of
No.
a mouse, Bix. Come on, we can
It's
all
like,
be
nope.
together.
It's like, nope.
I gotta call the wife. I gotta call Amy.
Yeah,
She's
that's you got to work it
much
from
more
that angle. That's
conducive
the
to
only
hanging
way.
out.
That's the only way you can get things to happen.
Yeah,
You got to work that angle.
I do.
Otherwise, he's like,
She's
nope,
fun.
nope.
Yeah. Um, that's awesome.
Can't blame him. I get it.
He and Jenny had a great video on his private road today. If you guys are not part of
Today,
Bix's private road, go join Bix's private road and watch the Amy or the Jenny and Bix video from today. Like, I'm not giving anything away, but you guys,
you
it's
got to watch it.
yeah. And I'm also on Jenny's Patreon, and now she has changed her Patreon. She was doing once a week live. Now she's doing 3 times a week in the
Dang.
morning. It's shorter, but you can
Yeah.
write in if you're on her Patreon, you can write in questions anytime. And then that next time that she's live, she answers your question in the morning. And you can also join her on the live in the morning, but she's like watching the chat or whatever.
Nice.
And it's like it's really good. And she's like got this real like calm, great energy. And during this crazy time, it's really good. I really like it. So it's 3 times a week. And it's super, super reasonable for that great, good energy time. It's a great community too. So
What's better than Jenny 1 time a week? 3
time.
times a week.
Jenny Moonstone 3 times a week on Patreon.
There you go.
You can also join my Patreon.
And join the lovely Litecoin Lisa's Patreon too.
Yeah.
Too.
There you go. Two. I am uploading a new Mighty Merchant from today. We had a great time. This one lady stole my pumpkin. I will admit I was a little saucy, but I got over it.
Crushed it.
She got in and stole my pumpkin before I got there. I was a little mad. Oh, Jenny has a show tonight at 7:30.
Oh, is it on YouTube or Patreon or what is it? Patreon show?
Is that like for public or private, or give us all the deets?
Come on, Jim. Hook us up. Tell us. Leave us hanging in suspense.
Mm-hmm.
Tune in. Same time, same channel. Same Moonstone channel. Same Moonstone
time. Same Moonstone. She was so funny. Was it yesterday? What day is today? Today is Friday. So it was
Happy Hour Friday.
Yeah. So it was Wednesday. She was like, and look, I like people. They're my friends. I hang out with them, but I do not watch their stuff and I don't get into their Stuff. And I was like, Jenny, I can totally hear you. I can hear you right now talking about me.
I'm in the room.
I was like, I know you just want to come to meetups and
Right.
have a great time and run around. We
Drink some
have a lot of fun.
drink some
together.
Casamigos.
Yes, we have a lot of fun and we act really silly together and have a wonderful time and sing and have a great time.
Yes. Go on spiritual journeys to the outer limits.
We do.
Yes.
It's fun. It's a wonderful time.
First drink since last Friday.
Well, you get a prize.
Once a week. I know, right? You get a ribbon.
Here's your star.
You get a gold star coming right at you.
I got a gold star for you. It's the seal of Oklahoma.
Yeah. You want to fight? You want to fight our senator? You want to go?
Hey, watch it.
You want to
That
go?
guy is a badass, and I am proud of him. And you know what?
Stand up.
At some point, you do need to fight about it.
That's what's going to come down to. They used to do it in Congress. They used to duel.
They
go,
did.
okay, fine, mofo. You go out and shoot each other.
All right. I'm not saying, I am not advocating for violence.
It's a duel.
But I am saying at some point we need to stand up and say enough. And we need to say, like, if someone talks about your wife and your family like that, I mean, that guy was taking cheap shots at his family.
Oh, and look at him. He's just so smug and so deep state
making
looking.
It personal. Like, you don't talk about somebody's family like that.
They don't care. They think they're untouchable. They think they've got all the forces on their side, all the legions of darkness are backing them up.
They do.
I know they do. It's ridiculous. Shine the light of truth on them, expose these vampires, and just flame through them. The light of truth.
Done. Oh Lord, it's like glitching like crazy.
Is it me? It's probably the flamethrower.
I don't know. Yes, you're frozen like this. You look awesome though. The new Batman movie, or it's called like The Batman or
something like that. There's so many.
It's new to me. It's out on something that I'm able to watch.
Batman. Remember? He was dropping all that stuff. Matthew Perry was dropping all that Batman stuff before he died. So there's probably some reveals in the movie, is my guess. I don't know.
Okay, so do you know about all this Eathgate stuff with Stephen Narayoff? I may not be pronouncing that correct, and if I'm not, I really apologize.
What do we got? Some conspiracy with Ethereum now?
This is no conspiracy. There are recorded conversations.
Cool.
And I probably shouldn't be really talking about it, to be totally honest. I'm hopefully going to get to do an interview with him for Very Dow.
All right.
We put out a request, and my friend Joe Rhodes is going to come on. It's not specifically about that issue. We're actually going to be, Reggie did a tweet about talking about like cross-border jurisdiction. Then he was talking about the ETFs coming out and how that might be affected and like what the SEC's role is and all of that and whatever. Well, then today, the who was it? Fidelity ETF got listed. Yes.
So it's like legit. You can go buy it.
Legit. It got listed on. I posted it in a couple of places, but Fidelity Spot Bitcoin ETF listed on DTCC.
Okay, that's just the call sign though. It's not like live, is it? I think that's just the prep or it's on the rolls, but it's not.
Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation is what that means.
I know, but I don't know.
I don't know how official that is.
I don't know that it is. Somebody help a brother and sister out.
Okay, let me open up the article and we'll read it together.
Yeah, let's go to the source.
Let's go and search it up and let's educate ourselves. A little homeschooling here. Fidelity Wise Origin Spot Bitcoin ETF is listed on the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, DTCC, under the ticker symbol FBTC. The spot Bitcoin ETF was listed by the DTCC. God, they use so many acronyms. I mean, just weird me out. Okay. And then it shows here Fidelity Wise Origin Bitcoin. More, lots of little letters. Oh, wait, Brazil. Hold on. There's been lots of noise about Brazil lately, too. I don't know what's going on with that.
Marky Post is in the house.
Hi, Marky Post.
No, it's not Marky Post, man. This is from Night Court and all.
Oh. It provides post-trade clearance, settlement, custody. Ooh.
This Marky's better looking, so that tells you something.
That sounds very interesting. And information services for stocks, exchange, traded funds, and other products, according to NASDAQ. Bloomberg intelligence analyst Eric something said on X. Everybody says formerly Twitter. Just say Twitter. Like, let's all get over this.
Just say XXX Twitter.
Yeah. Almost all tickers have already been set. Eric, what's his name? Fidelity has revealed their ticker, FBTC. Another boring on purpose choice.
So F Bitcoin ticker. It says F Bitcoin.
F Bitcoin. That's F hilarious.
My Litecoin.
Aimed at the boomerati. Almost all tickers now set. Next big reveal to watch, the fees, which will probably come out last minute. BF launch. As
Before
issuers.
launch.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's not ready. I didn't think it was ready yet. See, they put all that out there. They get it all ready to go. And then one day it's just going to go flip the switch. And then it all just releases. You release the Kraken.
Now listed on the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation with the ticker BFTC.
I think that's just like an organizational list of all the potential funds. Doesn't mean they're live yet. So it doesn't sound like it is. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know if there's some deadline, whatever the freaking deadline is at this point. They keep kicking the can down the road like they did with Evergrande. January 29th. Let's get through the holidays. You know, that kind of thing.
Okay, so here, however, this does not mean that this securities has approved the application from BlackRock.
They're just getting ready. Getting ready. Lord. I know. When does it end? Like I said, kicking the keg.
I mean, they're going to cry wolf one too many times.
Hey, you know, at some point, somebody may say, you know what? F these things. I'm just going to take custody myself and be my own bank. I don't need y'all to hold it. I wish we could do that. Is there a way to do that? Yeah, I think there's a way to do that.
Somebody told me there was.
I think there might be a way to do that. Maybe we should just do that. Be our own ETF. Be your own ETF.
A good idea. You know, speaking of that, actually, Elon was talking about that. And not only Elon, who did it before Elon? Jack said it, and Elon retweeted it.
Boom.
Maybe it has something to do with all these pervs being called out. I don't know.
Preverts.
Where did Elon he like literally said that maybe 22 hours ago?
You even got it down to the hour. Well, it's 22 hours ago.
I think so. I think it was 22 hours ago.
I remember where I was when I saw the tweet come through.
Oh, look, Elon's talking about it again. Bill Gates claims he does not know why he visited the island 36 times.
Oh, Lord.
He might have lost count in the teens. What a joke.
He was offering a free ride. You know, so I got on the plane.
But I'm
a multi-billionaire. I can control all these assets and go anywhere I want. Just snap my fingers. But I had to get on Epstein's plane because, it was a free ride. Yeah, I had to get on that plane.
But get the joke. He lost count in the teens.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. It's just like laughing at you. They're all just like laughing at you. Mm-hmm. That's what I did. Looking, you're idiots. Take another prick. Eat some of my GMO coatings. It's all good. Let me buy your farmland from you. You hurting? Yeah, I'll come in and buy it from you. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Scum.
Where is it?
Speaking of transgender, seen Bill Gates lately?
Or his wife?
Both.
Mm-hmm. And the what's his name? Kissinger's Big Daddy. Let's see. Oh, I know. Oh gosh, I'm only at 3 hours. Man, Elon tweets more than I do.
He's
No,
out there, which makes me think, how's he tweeting that much? He's running how many
that's
companies?
more than me. Like, look at this. This is
Sense.
4 hours ago. He's tweeted this
Ah,
much in 4 hours.
he
Grok,
has
grok,
AI.
grok, grok.
He's
He
got
is
his own AI going, and he
well,
just lets it run.
could it be Grok? Could
Oh yeah,
Elon be
Grok
Grok?
is. Who's Grok?
What do you mean
Explain
who's
it.
Grok?
What's Grok?
Are
Tell me
you
what Grok
kidding
is.
me?
No, I don't
Grok.
know what it is. Help me.
Okay, it's
Grok Pierce?
No, Grok is Elon's Chat GPT.
Oh, that makes sense.
We were telling
I didn't
people
know that
to
was the name of the
look
AI.
at it
See, I
for
had no
a
idea what it was.
while.
I see I got Grok all the time. I don't even know what it means. I don't even know what it
Okay.
means. See,
Well,
I'm living out here and just disconnected.
no
Word
financial
Sasquatch is
advice, but
in.
one thing
Yeah,
I think is kind of cool about
living
it
up the
is
drain.
that supposedly you can like they're going to gamify it. Um like see Grok writes an original Christmas song, but you can when you contribute you'll be able to like financially or you'll be able to pay like you get paid for your attention, kind of like what Bix was talking about, like where
And you get tokens for
you'll
your
get
attention. You get Grok
tokens for
tokens.
your contribution or whatever.
All
So
right.
that's kind of cool. Yeah, he's grokking all over the place with this.
He's
Well,
grokking and
you
rolling,
guys, I mean,
baby.
it's going to be a while because and I don't want to make you sick, but he's very,
Excuse me while I go get the bottle of gin. I'll be right back.
oh, okay. You're going to leave me when I'm scrolling. I don't want to make them sick. I don't want to make anybody dizzy. Oh, okay. That's not good. Oh, Lord, I don't want to see her either. Nikki Haley. Alex Jones should be unbanned on X. Sure, hell yeah, he should.
Sorry.
I guess a lot of people want him unbanned. You think, Elon? Free the gay frogs.
Bring back Alex Jones. Big interview
I
with Tucker Carlson.
I heard that they made a game with I think Sean was telling me this. They made a game for Alex Jones and like there's gay frogs and some other like all the little conspiracy theories.
All the things that came true.
And it's like a game. Yeah. It was kind of funny.
Osama bin Laden was the CIA asset. Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was kind of cool.
Okay.
There he is. The most censored man in the world. I don't know. I don't think he could claim that.
Who is it?
Considering that Julian Assange is in prison,
That's a pretty bad one. Yeah,
I
that's a good
don't
argument.
think you can claim
Yeah,
that. You
yeah,
know, I
yeah.
mm,
Maybe the most censored man in America.
maybe,
Maybe that works. Or Texas.
maybe. Yeah, I think that's
He
like
said he's
if
probably going to move out of Texas or move away from where he's at some point in the interview, just because of how it's becoming, purple stated. You got everybody
wow.
from California and basically different countries, California and New York, coming down to Texas, ruining Austin, where he was raised and grew up, and it's not what it used to be,
Well,
and it's
Austin's
changing.
not, but the rest
No,
of
no,
like
the
that's what
cities. It's the
the big
cities.
cities are
It's the
not what
cities.
the rest of the
No,
state is.
but they end up taking over because they get all the votes because they can, I don't know, maybe control those votes or miscount those votes or accidentally
Manipulate,
elect
yeah.
somebody. Yeah, that's the way it is everywhere. And so you take
Mhm.
a great state of Texas and look what happens. Next thing you know, the cities turn the vote, and then
There
the
he
whole
is.
thing goes down the porcelain.
Lord. Okay, so this is how long it took me to get to what I was
Rock
talking about.
that.
I apologize, you guys. I hope everyone's eyes have quit rolling like the slots at Vegas.
Mine are
But Jack
floating.
on December 7th, which gosh, who remembers Jack? Who even remembers
Right,
Jack?
gone. Who's that guy?
Who's
You
that
don't know
guy?
Jack. You don't know Jack. He's a
Don't know.
square.
You don't know Jack. But move your Bitcoin off the exchanges and look at that
Yes.
black cube. That's
Oh, oh,
that's pretty
some
scary.
Kabbalah stuff.
If you know what that is some cabal stuff.
Kabbalah stuff.
Kabbalah stuff? Oh, interesting.
Both. Yeah, yeah. You can look at
And then Elon
Black
almost
Sun
immediately,
stuff.
I think these were like when you saw it, when it actually happened, it was just a couple hours apart. Now you can't tell because it's been a little while, and he says, not your keys, not your wallet, as they say, which that's interesting.
Oh, that makes sense though, because it's really not your crypto. When it comes down to it, the crypto is secured by the blockchain. It's just the wallet and the key that allows you to move it on the blockchain. So you don't really have your crypto. You never have your crypto. You have a
Right.
private key or a wallet that has the private key. So that does make sense. But it's accurate.
Because the coins never leave the
Right. And
blockchain.
that's the beauty of it. The blockchain and all those computers secure all those coins. And you can't lose it as long as you got your private key. So you lose your wallet, it
Mhm.
doesn't really matter as long as you got the key. And then you restore it somewhere else in some other country that's more conducive to freedom at some point.
Interesting. Um, I loved seeing this. The state treasurer of South Carolina told Disney to pound sand.
Good.
That far left activism does not bode well for the future. So they're voting with their money, you know.
Yes. South Carolina, the home of Nimrata, Randhawa. Get over it.
God bless you. I don't know what you just said.
Nikki,
What?
Nikki, Nikki Haley,
Oh, is that her real
Nimrata.
name?
It's
Oh,
Nimrata Randhawa.
okay. I thought
She's
you.
the one that wants you to dox yourself and KYC yourself on
Mm,
social media that can't use her real
okay, I
name. You
thought
know
you
that
needed
one
a
running for
tissue.
president, the deep
Like,
state candidate. Yeah,
okay.
you need a tissue to wipe that mess up.
Sorry. I
It's
thought
a
you
big
needed
tissue.
a tissue.
Yeah,
I
well,
didn't know what was happening. I
God, I can't
apologize.
even. I mean, what a clown show.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the candidate. This is the new Bush candidate. This is the new neocon candidate. I mean, this is out of the Bush vibe.
Mhm.
This is the one. Nikki Haley, Nimrata. Lord, what are we doing? She's probably about 9% of the vote right now in the primaries, so she'll do well.
I don't trust any of those
I
stats
can't either.
or
They're all
whatever.
BS.
Yeah.
I mean, who would vote for her? Even the South Carolinians aren't going to vote for her. Daddy O, you voting for Nimrata in the primary? Is Lindsey Graham endorsing her?
Lord.
Yeah. Lindsey flip flopped. Pretty
Crazy.
interesting. Maybe they finally, are outing him and shaming him publicly, as if just showing up in public's not shame enough for him.
He had to step up at
He flip
the
flopped. He said, "No more money for Ukraine. We got to secure our border first." So I'm like, "Oh, okay."
well, and he also had to speak up at the nominations for judges and really step up
Against
because
Dickie Durbin,
yeah,
tricky
against
Dickie
Dick
Durbin.
Durbin.
Yeah.
I mean, and he did.
He did. I got to give him
So
that.
I
So
I
maybe
don't know if
maybe he's been activated now, and it's time. All
yeah,
right, now you got to fulfill your mission. You got to do what we tell you to do. You got
you
to do the
kind of
right
have
thing.
to
Play ball
shit or get off the pot, you know?
or swing.
I don't know. I think that's a thing. So,
That's what Nixon
um,
said. Sometimes you just got to shit or get off the pot.
yeah, I think that's a thing. This Monday evening,
Checkers.
our friends in Miami and where else? I can't remember where else. I posted this article in Telegram so you can click on it and read more about it. We'll be able to see this eclipse. And also Haley's comet just did the turnaround today.
Yeah.
So the shift is happening today
So is that
um,
coming back or coming? What's
to
the deal?
come back towards us,
Okay, so it made its farthest point. Now we're headed back this way.
headed back this way.
Look out.
Look out.
Is it
Um,
Holly's comet or Haley's comet? Nikki Haley's
I
comet.
think it's Haley's comet, but it's supposed to cause
Rondhawa, Nimrata's comet.
kind of like a Bethlehem star kind of moment. There's all these comms all around this stuff. And then
Comet.
Sean keeps talking about chestnuts, and I do not know what he's talking about. But then I saw this Native American dancers make history when taking stage during the Nutcracker in Oklahoma City. And I don't know if that's some kind of comm. So I posted up there in case it is.
Chestnuts and Yule logs.
And nutcrackers.
Yes.
So there you go. If I'm contributing in any way, God bless you. I don't know what's happening anymore.
I don't either.
It's upside down.
It's just flowing. It's
It
leaking out
is.
everywhere.
I feel like it's leaking out everywhere.
Psychic leaks everywhere.
239 million worth of cocaine from a submarine. Oh, there was a weird gold thing from a whale today that came out. Oh, wait. There's a Beatles update. Oh, wait. We have to all
The
listen.
defendants have no duty to follow the laws, no consequences for breaking the laws. Beatles has no chance at a fair trial in Nevada, so let's throw out his case and let's sanction him. That's what the Washoe County District Attorney's
This is
Office
in
has to
Nevada.
say about my case, right?
Supreme Court.
Well, here is my first Supreme Court appeal. As you can see,
Check this out.
Oh my God.
it's all right here. Last week, I filed the actual appeal and all those documents. Today, I'm filing the actual meat of the documents, so to speak. Then on Monday, when they receive the documents, they'll have 30 days to respond. I will then reply to their response, and then it's going to be up to the Supreme Court to decide whether or not we're going to have oral arguments in court, or if they're just simply going to rule off the pleadings, so to speak. And so far, what we've seen in the county is that the ROV is corrupt. We've seen that the district attorney's office defends their corruption. We see that the media spins the corruption and then libel and slanders the truth tellers. We then see Russ.
Oh, sorry.
Defendants have no duty to follow the laws, no consequences. That's what the Washoe County District Attorney's Office has to say about my case, right? Well, here is my first Supreme Court appeal. As you can see, it's all right here. Last week, I filed the actual appeal and all those documents. Today, I'm filing the actual meat of the documents, so to speak. Then on Monday, when they receive the documents, they'll have 30 days to respond. I will then reply to their response, and then it's going to be up to the Supreme Court to decide whether or not we're going to have oral arguments in court, or if they're just simply going to rule off the pleadings, so to speak. And so far, what we've seen in the county is that the ROV is corrupt. We've seen that the district attorney's office defends their corruption. We see that the media spins the corruption and then libel and slanders the truth tellers. We then see Russell, right, who rules in favor of the corruption. Now we see our last chance, which is the Supreme Court. This is going to fall right at their feet, and we're going to find out right away. Are they going to uphold the rule of the law, or are they simply going to sign off on the corruption and show us that there's no hope for justice whatsoever in Nevada? I tell you this much. If they simply follow the law, there is zero, and I mean 0% chance I lose. So let's see what they do.
This is going to be
Law.
huge.
Law.
Huge.
Follow the law.
I think it's going to be huge.
These people are good. That's what it takes. You're going to break this thing down. You're going to put their freaking feet to the fire. You know, at some point, I just get tired of playing the game and get a good sheriff, deputize everybody that's, deputizable. And let's be done with this. Okay.
You think that's the answer?
I mean, the border, close the border, start deputizing people. Some of these agencies.
They're doing that, though, in Arizona, I
They
think.
should have put the containers back, put them along the wall, whatever you got to do. Get out there, public works project, GoFundMe, get out there, put the dang thing up, build it, done. Deputize people. Hey, you're on my private property. I'm going to arrest you, whatever. Take you out over the border.
I think that's a great idea. We're seeing like the Pentagon budget and inventories have like threats. They grounded the Osprey.
I saw that, the Osprey.
Yeah,
Heard.
the helicopters. And
Yeah.
we have some friends that work at a base, and they said that there's huge shortages in supplies for parts, and they're going to have to like ground. Well, I don't know what they're going to do, but they're going to
Chinese parts. They coming from China.
I don't know. And
That'd be interesting. No.
I have no idea, but I know that it will cause some problems, and so there are going to be a lot of military planes that will not be most likely, I would guess, if I had to guess, but I don't have any knowledge, but I would think it could cause problems for military planes flying. But if I think about what Jim was saying on Monday, um, well, he didn't say this on the video. Um, so he said some things after the video that I shared with the community.
Lisa, I'm trying not to go there. You're trying to pull
I
me.
know.
I'm trying to keep it.
He gets
Lisa,
frustrated with me because
Lisa, I
I
love your
want him to
hair.
tell me
That beautiful
everything.
hair, Lisa.
Yeah.
I love your hair.
I want him to tell me everything, and I want him to tell my family, my community, everything.
Right. Should have had a Patreon.
So then he'll
show,
tell
like,
me
for
some
half an
stuff
hour
afterwards, and then I'm like, okay.
Yes, thank you.
And
Okay.
then I get on with some other people that I'm friends with, and then they tell me stuff, and then I go tell him stuff that I heard from other
It's
stuff.
backdoor channels. It's like JFK and Khrushchev, sending messaging.
And I'm no expert, and I don't have any. I'm just hearing what I hear and putting things together and whatever. But it's interesting, and it's a what if, and I can't verify anything, and I'm just a little old girl over here wondering what if. But if somebody else has information or knowledge and can confirm something, then maybe they know more than I do. But when it starts making sense, and then you start seeing posts from the army about, oh, let me, well, should I show? I don't know if I should show.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you're about to do.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Sometimes I make bad choices. Maybe I should wait.
Was that text intended for me, Lisa?
I know.
Are you talking to me? Because I'm really confused right now.
And I was like, oh, wait, wrong person.
Yeah. Like, no,
and I sent it to Javi too. Whoops. Wrong thread.
I hate that though. You go and text, and it's like the last one that you texted comes up, and you just got a text in, and you go and reply, and it's like the last one you replied to, and you're like, oh,
yeah, wrong person.
Son of a...
It doesn't matter.
Rescind.
It was mostly the same thing. It doesn't matter. It wasn't anything that was like that I wouldn't want to tell you. So it just didn't make sense. But
yeah, in the context, I was like, oh yeah, I can see that, but where's it coming from right
now?
Okay.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Yeah. Is everything all right? I'm going to bed.
Some days things are just not okay. I did get a call text from JC, and he asked me and Snippy and Bix to come on a show together. Nice. And so I was flattered. I thought that was really sweet. And so I'm going to go on. I'm not sure how much woo I'm supposed to talk about. Or if I'm just...
woo-woo show. It's a woo-woo channel, isn't it?
It's supposed to be factual.
But the woo is factual.
The woo is the news, right?
The woo is the truth.
News.
There's the truth woo.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's more true than anything we've seen on the mainstream news that's bought and paid for. That's just nothing but an agenda in the squawk box. They even call it one of them, on one of the news shows, squawk box.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was very flattered. I thought that was really sweet. And I know he wants to support. He's very kind. He came in a while ago, and he was like, you have really good information. You're really on top of the news, and whatever. He goes, I'd love for you to see you have more viewers and whatever. And I was like, well, I'm just really shadow banned a lot. And, but thanks. I appreciate your support. And, he's like, why don't you come on and, consider doing a show?
So come on and kick the dust up.
Yeah. So I think that'll be fun. And, Snippy's going to come on with me. So that'll be fun.
He'll be flying in.
Well, I don't think so for a while. I think it would be a good idea to stay grounded for a little while.
That's what I've always said. Get your feet on the ground, son.
Oh man, did you
Fly
see?
too high. Don't get too close to the sun, son.
Yeah, I know you saw it because I sent it to you. Um, I think it was 107, and
Go
Nino
ahead.
did a
Oh,
Sasquatch
yeah, I saw it.
episode, and I was like, "Oh Lord, Wes was gonna be so
Oh
happy."
yeah. Oh, I'm into it. I really, I'm telling you, that's going to be a big component of things to come. You know, those when you're talking about woo, the
Are
things.
those the giants?
Well, I mean, that's up for debate. Could be the DNA. It's hard to say, but the fact is that it's been squelched or squashed for so long. I guess you
Squatch.
could say that. You know, it's like aliens. You know, it's like all these things that are out there that we kind of know are out there intuitively, but we just don't. You know, well, we haven't seen it. We lived in the city and haven't seen it, and but then you ask yourself once you realize it's real, okay, all right, what is this? How did this get here? How have I not known about it? What's really behind it? And you really start asking questions. How much am I being lied to? You all knew this? All you park
How
rangers
much
know
do they
about
not
this
want
stuff?
you
And
to
you let
talk
us go
about
out
it?
there and camp? And then you wonder, and all these people disappear? I mean, what's really happening? You know, and so that's a can of worms that once you open it up, you just lose total confidence. You lose total faith in anything as far as governmental or any kind of authority. Because I mean, you know, it's a big deal. I mean, it really is. A lot of people go missing, and you got to ask where'd they go. And then you're telling me that stuff's out there running around. You guys know about it? Didn't say
See, I
anything.
thought they were like nice or benevolent or whatever.
Well,
Like I
I'm
didn't
telling.
think.
The more research I do on this, they're like people. There's
Oh,
different types, and
okay.
some
Oh,
are more playful and observant, and like to kind
okay.
of just and then there are others that you don't even want to
Bite
be out there.
into.
You don't even want to be there. So it's all across the country. It's
Interesting.
all across the world. So there's different regions. It's just like people. You know, you got different cultures of them, and that makes you think, well, how far back does this go? I mean, where's the origin of this? Is this like some Cain and Abel stuff? Like descendants of Cain stuff? I don't know, but you're going to start once you open that Pandora's box. Look out.
But so like it was my understanding that like Smithsonian and all that was part of like
Covering stuff up. Why do you think
yeah,
we have all these
dumping
national
their
parks?
bones off the ocean and
Sure.
all that
And
kind of stuff.
they're trying to eliminate all that. They're trying to squelch all that. They're trying to hide all that stuff. And why are they trying to hide it? What are they trying to hide? What's wrong
Mhm.
with that? We got all these myths about giants and cyclops and
Yeah, I've seen
cyclopses and
more and more pictures now, like on Twitter and
yeah.
different things.
And is it real? I don't
Mm,
know.
I
But
don't know.
then you look at buildings to where they have doors that are like 30 feet high. It's like, okay, the handles above your head. Why build that? Who's going to put the energy into building things
Mhm.
like that a normal human being can't even utilize? Well, who used it? And how long has it been there? Why are the
Hmm.
pyramids so big? What are we doing with this stuff?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense at
I mean,
all.
why do we need? I mean, I don't know. Lots of things to be uncovered, I guess.
Hmm. Very
But
interesting.
yeah, that was an interesting thing. Thanks for dropping that. And I like the dude's. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's a hunter, and I like his attitude. He's like, "Hey, I know it's out there. It's just I'm not going to let that. I'm not going to let that mess me up, that and ruin who I am and how I think. I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and I know that stuff's there, and it's just I'm not going because there are people who are completely. It ruins their lives. I mean,
Mhm.
once they experience it, it is so devastating to their psyche that they're never the same again. And he's like, I'm just not going to let that happen. And so it comes down to you can't let that happen yourself because there's going to be psychological scarring things that we're all going to find out about in many different ways that we've lived in this
Yeah.
insulated, Pollyanna, everything's okay. Social Security's not going away. Everything's going to be, it's all good. Everything, the artificial reality. And when that gets stripped away and you see the core of what's really going on, people are going to get messed up. And so you just can't let that happen. Just like, okay, yeah, I figured, I just didn't realize it'd be that bad. But ultimately, okay, I got my happy place. I got my grounding. You got to get grounded. That's why you got to look inside a little bit and get yourself right. Because that big stuff coming.
The big stuff's coming.
Yeah, the big stuff.
That's what I kind of feel like everybody's kind of like at this grumpy, like I guess the lady today, like we got to pre-shop a sale last night. And then so it was kind of like going to an Easter egg hunt where you knew where all the eggs were. And then we went in today
You're like the
and
16-year-old, and there's a bunch of 4-year-olds running around
yes,
police streets.
but
Like,
we
I know
so
where they're
we
all at.
yeah, we went in and I was like, I had searched
Yeah.
everything. I knew where like all the good stuff was. And but this lady was like reaming my friend who was holding the sale. And like, I'm sorry, but just because you like put your name on the list doesn't mean you get first dibs on everything in the house. You walk in and then whoever gets to the thing first
Yeah. You can't have
got
it
to the
all.
thing first. Like,
Yeah.
even though I pre-shopped the sale and I knew where things were, like some people picked up, like this lady got my blow mold pumpkin that I really wanted, but she walked up to it first and got it first. Like, well done.
Good
You
for
know?
you. I guess you win.
Yeah, but she was ripping into, this lady, and I was just like,
Those
"Man,
are the
like,
rules.
it's
That's
just
just the way it
stuff."
is.
You know what I mean? Like, but people are, like, really on edge about and entitled right now, and I think it's because they're struggling, and
Yeah.
everything is being demanded of them that feels so unjust, and we're seeing
Yes.
this
Hey,
two-party or not two-party, but rules for thee and not for
2-tier.
me and two-tier justice system, and so everything does just feel so unfair that they're fighting at every level for dumb shit
That's where they want us.
and fighting for the wrong stuff right
Yeah.
now.
That's where they want
You know
us.
what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
fight against the they,
Yeah.
not each other, you know?
Not me
Uh,
against you. It's we against they.
yeah. It's
It's
really
hard though because I mean, like you said, it's almost they want to create this world of artificial scarcity. So I need to get mine now. I'm gonna hurry up and get it because I don't know.
mm,
We're gonna run out of gas. We're gonna run out of energy. We're gonna run out of everything. And my God, I gotta get my damn blown pumpkin right now.
yeah,
I ain't gonna have something. I gotta have something. I gotta have treasure. I gotta have a happy thing.
just that
And
one thing.
I just want that one thing.
And if I don't have it, if she got it, then that means I'll never get it or I
You
won't have
can't.
it or
If I
I
can't
don't know.
have him, you can't have him.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that gets into some really sick stuff,
Yeah,
you
you might
know?
get into some psychological scarring and mental stuff.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh man, that's
So we had a
dangerous for
house
sure.
blow up, and in where was it? Georgetown, DC, somewhere,
Virginia,
Richmond, yeah, somewhere out there.
somewhere over there,
Had some
Virginia.
connections to
But
some other
that was even
things.
like a lot of media was lying to us on that. There was a lot of narrative around that. They were sending out like, oh, it's this guy, and look, he's on his YouTube, it says terrorist, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, another
And
militia
then
guy.
and then they were saying no one's even home.
Right.
And I was like, dang, he's got a really nice house for a YouTuber with uh I mean, none of it really made sense to me.
No, it
I
doesn't
didn't
add up.
yeah, I stopped putting any energy into it. So I don't know if you
I did.
had any
I
more
just
information on it.
threw it out there because it was one of those eye-catching things. Oh my gosh! Boom! They show the house blowing up. Then you look into it, and there's this woo guy that owned the house, and he's got different connections. And I mean, if you're in Virginia, anywhere near DC, it's basically you're connected to the government in some way. Basically, I mean that whole
Mhm.
hotbed. So I don't make any kind of hey, what do we got here?
You getting on the dog?
Yeah, what's going on?
We just never know. NASA is putting internet on the moon.
Well, they
That
need to watch Netflix. Those Elohim
it's
creature things.
yeah, very
They're,
interesting.
they're looking to see, the next episodes of whatever series comes out. House of Cards 3 or something.
House of Cards 3.
Hmm.
You think?
I don't know what I'm talking
I
about.
doubt that.
Netflix stuff.
I wouldn't think that's going to be a thing.
No, I don't think so. I haven't seen Kevin Spacey in a while.
That was interesting to me too. We had dinner with some friends and they said, "Oh," and we love them very much. And they were like, "Yeah, but and recently there's been all these pictures of Macaulay Culkin and
Yeah.
the mom on the Christmas show.
Yeah.
And there's been all these new
He got his
stars.
star. He got his star on the Walk of Fame.
And
Macaulay Culkin.
Christina Applegate got one just before that, and she was, like, barefoot or something. I don't know what all the comms are around that. Like, are
They're
they
all
the people
insane. I don't know.
are they the people who were harmed when they were kids
They
and
probably were.
they never got a star and now they're being redeemed and getting stars? Or are they bad people and being revealed? I don't know. But Macaulay claimed that Michael hurt him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, is what
Okay.
our friends said, and I was like, "Well, wait a minute. I thought that because I always believed that Michael was bad, and then
And then you got turned
public
into
told me, no, that was all a lie, and that's how they vilified him, just like Kelsey Grammer, and Kelsey Grammer now supports Trump, and so it's like
I don't
the
know. I wasn't
reverse kind of
there. It's
thing.
hard to
So now I'm
know.
like, "Oh my god, I don't how do you know what to believe?"
Trust yourself. Trust yourself and those people around you. Surround yourself with good people. Get
Yeah.
connected to the source.
You really only know what you experience yourself,
Pretty much.
right?
Yep. Pretty much. I mean, all the other stuff. It's just like, you talk about, we come on here and say, I don't even know what's going on in these last night. We did the Hash It Out show and we all came. I was like, I have no idea what's going on. I got nothing to talk about. Imagine that. And all this other stuff going on in my life. And I haven't paid attention to anything else because it doesn't affect me. And
Mm.
so I get on, and then Hobby's the same way. Steak is the same way. Dave's the same way. I've
Wow,
been
you
doing
guys are
this. I've been
all in
doing
that
this.
mood.
We all been doing the same thing. And that's what I mean. It's like this universe thing, astrology,
Wow.
whatever you want to call it. Whatever it is. Right now, we're all kind of in this. Okay, I got my own stuff I got to take care of going on. I think the universe forces that on us. It's like, okay, now's the time. Y'all need, like, right now, get your house in order, get your things where it needs to be. And you get pushed in that direction if you haven't made that decision already. And you're like, okay. And so you don't pay attention to all this stuff out here that really doesn't matter ultimately, because it's what, you're not breathing air in China, you're not doing, it's all right here locally. And it's all the things that you got to focus on right here, because that's what makes an impact on your life. You don't get the thing out of the you don't fix the step, you're going to go through the step, you're going to get hurt.
Right.
I mean, it's right there in front of you. There's things you've got to take care of. And so, yeah, we were all that way last night. So I think a lot of people are that way. I get that sense that that's kind of where we're at, where I get my gut feeling something's happening soon, and I don't get
I
these
d
strong feelings like this.
that's why I'm thinking the 5 days, that'll come out, and then next Friday.
It could be. I don't
And
know
we're
what it's going
leading
to
right
be.
into
I
that
just
time
know
where
that
everybody's going home for Christmas and most businesses are shut down. It's like the
it could
perfect
be.
time.
Right.
Um,
You're where
One
you
of
need
my
to be.
friends told me that it's on 8chan, but it's not out publicly, and it's weird. Well, it's not weird because the media lies to us, but that there was a huge bond purchase failure in China, that the bonds came up in China. So, and Jim was talking about that happening here, that
Right.
the treasury bonds would come up in America and there would be no purchases. But apparently that just happened in China and there were no buys, and no one bought the bonds in China. And then there was a big cyber attack on the banks in China. And when I text that to Jim, he goes, "Oh, really?" He said, what did he say? He said something about like, that was not, he goes, "That's an excuse for a
Cover.
JP Morgan payoff." He goes, "Oh, tax on China, big banks. Huh. Same with JP Morgan. But I believe JP Morgan paid out because they say they didn't."
Well, I mean, all they're doing is papering everything over, and his end
Right.
game is exactly lines up with what I've always thought. The Fed's going to monetize everything, because
Mhm.
that's the buyer of last resort. I mean, you have to float the debt. What do you say? $7 trillion in the
Yeah.
next year. You got to roll over
Mhm.
7 trillion, and you got to roll it over at higher interest rates. So that gives you less purchasing power. So that means it's snowball effect. You're going to have to, go into debt further and further and further to try and pay these things off. And guess what? If there aren't any buyers for that debt, what's going to happen? Well, as he said, you got shell companies and shell agencies right now that are kind of buying it, but ultimately it comes back to the Fed. The Fed's monetizing it. I think the Fed's, and ultimately that's what they have to do. And monetizing, what that means is Treasury says, hey, we need money. And the Fed says, okay, we'll just create Federal Reserve notes and buy it and hold it on our books. And so they just print the money. I mean, truly just create money out of nothing to buy these things. There's no free market on these things. There's no market for the bonds. They just come in and say, here's the money. And I mean, that's hyperinflationary. I mean, that's just creating money out of nothing. There's no market. And they're going to do that as long as they can. And you get into the big scenario of that's it. That's the end game. That is
Well,
the end
and
game.
that's what is so what's making this exponential is that, because that's where I was asking Jim about this later. I said, so the whole Argentina guy backing bringing in the US dollar, he became the president, and then he's like, oh, I'm going to use the US dollar in Argentina. Well, they've had inflationary currency before. It's going to make the printer go faster. Now we have a whole nother country that's going to be making the printer go brrr, and having inflationary US dollar.
You got it's so because that's
It's
the thing. It should have crashed by now because it's not solvent. It's not sustainable. Yeah. We've all known that. It died in 2008 and they kept it on life support this long.
Oh my God.
Unbelievably. So we really got to put the pedal to the metal now and run that thing so hot till we blow that engine up. So just print, just create, hyperinflate, do everything you can. And if you don't have assets in your possession, if you don't have things that you can control that will work outside of the government failing, then you're going to lose. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. So in 2008, this is all tied to the Bear Stearns thing. And child, you know what? Inga. I had no idea. I watched this. I don't even know where I was watching. Hold on.
Rush Limbaugh here.
I'm having, yes. So I was late. I couldn't sleep because there are all these solar flare things. I cannot sleep.
I'm out of kilter this week.
There's no doubt about it. Terrible.
I mean, I'm feeling something. I don't know what it is. And it's just like physically feeling something.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, I got something wrong with me? That's how I feel.
No, my husband is so irritated with me. He like keeps walking out. He's like, go to bed. I was like, I cannot. Go to bed. Even my little boy, he's like, I can't sleep. But he's very like empathic and stuff. So he's having
strange
trouble.
Energies from space.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I wonder if I can share. I tried
Space goat farts.
Oh, gross. I hope I'm not.
No, that's what Cliff said. Space goat farts. That was a classification of the weird things that are out there that I can't really classify. They don't go in this big bin.
I love him so much, but he needs to not talk about all the things that he talks about sometimes. I don't want to hear all that. Sometimes he talks about those things. Okay, so it started with the John Galt thing that caught me, of course. Oh, I wonder if I can make it do a bigger picture. I don't know if you guys can see this. I will try and see if you guys can see this. Let me see. Share screen. Can you see this on my pictures? Can you see that picture? Let me see if I can make it bigger. John Galt. You probably can't see that.
Atlas shrugged.
It says like, it has this truck and it says John Galt. Oh, there. John Gall Trucking. This is in this movie I'm watching and I'm thinking John Gall. And then it says the Treasury had also redacted the names of states such as Dubai and Abu Dhabi, which had been connected as clients, plus companies such as Bear Stearns, which was broker to the bank. Then it says probing BCI have told Time that Iran-Contra affairs linked to the burgeoning bank scandal. Former government officials, other sources confirmed that the CIA stashed money in a number of BCCI accounts that were used to finance covert operations. Some of these funds went to Contras. Investigators say that intelligence of the U.S. defense establishments used the banks to maintain secret slush funds, possibly financing unauthorized covert operations. More startling yet, even the North set up before North, yes, set up his network for making illegal payments to the Contras. National Security Council was using BCCI to channel money to them. The funds were first sent to Saudi Arabia to disguise their White House origins and were deposited to CCI, maintained by Contra leader Adolfo Calero. Enter the you-know-what-y. See the word on the bottom, you guys? The main players. This is what I'm reading.
This is some Whitney Webb stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Check her out.
Let's see.
Kind of origins of the current deep
Yes.
state.
Then it says, according to U.S. investigator with substantial knowledge of that, some of the females provided some members were young girls who had not yet reached puberty and might have been physically injured by the experience.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Then it goes on. This is all connected to the 2008 Bear Stearns collapse, you guys. Who called the Bear Stearns collapse?
Well, I know who you're talking
I'm
about.
not going to say it out loud.
There's been a few people, but yeah, he was one of them.
Bank Credit and Commerce International, which is the BCCI.
Yep.
International bank founded in 1972 by this person, blah, blah, blah.
And I'll bet if you go back and look at the connections, probably has connections to the SNL crisis, probably has connections back to Papa B.
All of this
he's
stuff.
involved in all that. See, all this stuff could happen because, hey, Reagan, we cannot have this guy coming in and actually upsetting our apple cart. Take him out in year one. They didn't do it. But they kind of neutralized him. And guess who was vice president at the time? And guess who the shooter was who had dinner with the Bushes? Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying is history.
and so, yeah,
you see,
yeah, absolutely. And so what they do is say, okay, fine, we'll give you your time in the sun, but we're going to do all this other nefarious stuff in the background and, run drugs, all kinds of other trafficking and start wars and slush funds and all that. Do you think that's gotten any lesser to a degree at this point? No. Trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars flowing, so much money. It doesn't matter who the president is at this point because these people do whatever they do behind the scenes. And guess what? If you get too powerful and if you think you're really going to change things, they're going to put a bullet in you. And that's what they do.
And look at the timing of this. In 2008, Acosta was told that Epstein, quote, belonged to intelligence and leave it alone.
The intelligence over there in the Middle East? Mossad?
Yep. Mossad. And what happened in 2008 to clean it all up? And who paid for it? The American people that lost their homes.
It was less than $1 trillion. It was less than $1 trillion back then. Right now,
it's $7 trillion a year.
What's
just
$1 trillion?
Interest
we got to roll over $1 trillion next year. That ain't nothing. Holy crap! And you think that Elon Musk is the richest guy in the world? Give me a break. There's a lot of money flowing around. There's a lot of power that is behind the scenes that they don't want you to know about.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing bad things. Bad things.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think they want all these little skirmishes? Because, when you got a little war in a country, that's when all the grift goes on. That's where all the money starts flowing. Yeah.
It's very interesting. I'm just saying. And sometimes history rhymes. And right now, that's where we are. So.
We're going to save Israel for last, huh?
I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
What a strange thing.
Then we find out Robert Kennedy actually was on Epstein's flights twice. I think he said 2 or 3 times. He admitted it.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you think. I think Trump was too, though.
He was he never went to the island.
Right. And so I don't think Kennedy did either, but it's interesting.
My understanding, he was one time whatever, but.
Trust yourselves, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow. This thing's so big. I don't know what brings it down. I don't know. I guess we have to. We have to bring it down with by not using.
To stop elevating these people above ourselves.
Taylor Swift, person of the year, though. Person of the year, Taylor Swift.
That's disgusting to me. Like, I do not understand.
Didn't her? Okay, here, somebody needs to do a deep dive on this. She was up on stage basically crying that George Soros and Klan basically bought her songbook.
Yeah.
Bought her lyrics, bought her intellectual property, essentially. And so it's no different than Michael Jackson buying the Beatles songbook, and their intellectual property. He's profiting from it. And I'm thinking, okay, what does that do to her, and what happened after that? I mean, and what did it's just, what are the connections? Who is she? I mean, I look at anybody, put it this way, and she's one of them. John Travolta is one of them, dancing around like Santa, staying alive. Anybody who says, "What's in your wallet?" And they're supporting these banks and they're doing advertising for these banks, that right there is enough for me that, okay, you're compromised. Because anybody who understands what's going on right now is not going to be going out there saying, "Oh, hey, go get your credit card. Go bank with this bank." I mean, no, you're part of the problem. I don't care who you are. If you're that dumb and naive, quit listening to these people because they don't get it. I mean, God, these big banks, it's just they're their own governments. I mean, they really are. And they just do all these things like BCCI. I mean, look at what they do. They do it behind the back of government, do whatever they want. It's the money. They control the money. And
Well,
when you're
that's like the
supporting
whole
that, don't
thing where,
support those people.
Dick Allgaier and those guys put out a video and they're telling everybody what the Treasury's doing and panicking everybody and whatever. But like, they enacted something that's not a law, because I went and looked it up and it was never passed.
It's all bull. It's all
It's
just
not a law.
statute. It's all executive order. It's all mandates. It's all this. It's that. And it ultimately comes down to a in the pocket constitution here, because that's the only law there is. That's it. If it does not accord with that, if it does not abide by that, then it's not law. It's just made up. It's that simple.
Well, and that's where we, the people, have to stand up. Oh, Westwood. I found this new group. I'm super excited about it, and I'm going to get involved in it. I feel like I'm going to get involved. I've had my first interview with them. I did I've looked on their website. I've done a bunch of research on it. I did a orientation with them, and I really want you to check it out too. I think it's something that we might even want to bring into our meetups, or get our community involved with. They are working on passing what's called the 28th Amendment. I'll talk to you about it offline as well, but I'm very
the only problem is just my gut reaction is, the only problem is when you open up a constitutional convention or you do something to add an amendment, all the other ones are opened up too. So we got to be careful with that.
Oh, okay. I did not know.
And then the next thing you know, we don't need those first two amendments. They're obsolete. We need to change the Second Amendment, because it's a little confusing.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know that.
So that's a dangerous thing too. But not that I'm just saying.
Maybe that's a great point to bring up to them. Because what I had asked them was there a way to do what they were wanting to do by doing what was done to overturn what was done with Roe versus Wade, to overturn by giving because what they're trying to do is give the power back to the states, because right now the federal government is using the First Amendment. They're trying to say it's freedom of speech to give corporations power to give big money to
because they're people, lobbyists. Right? Corporations are a person.
Yeah, I mean, it's
so
ridiculous.
They have rights of people. We the
is
people.
That the
bastardization of language? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, give me a break.
So
corporations are alive.
It's just ridiculous to me. I mean, I haven't.
You got to be a man or a woman, and that's it.
Oh.
To have rights.
Is that part of the whole confusion of man-woman?
Absolutely, it
and
is.
Not knowing the definition of a man or a woman?
Yeah, exactly. Because if you don't have rights if you're not a man or a woman. So if you voluntarily say, "Oh, I'm this gender," well, then you don't.
And if they can't define what a man or a woman is,
oh well, then you have no rights, because this is only for this segment. And so they get you to volunteer out of it, just like everything else. They get you to yeah, I know it's a mind F. I mean, but that's. You think, oh yeah, you're free to do whatever you want. You're free to volunteer to be a vampire. Okay, here's the story.
Oh my God.
Today we read the story of Pandora's box, my daughter and I.
Oh, awesome.
And here's what happens. Zeus says, "All right, I'm ticked off. Prometheus, you jerk, you gave fire to the people." This is a common thing. So don't give the people too much knowledge. This is BS. And so, what's he do? Prometheus' brother, Epimetheus, I think it is. And then Zeus says, all right, let's craft this woman out of nothing and give her all these qualities of beauty and all this, but we're going to give her curiosity in the heart. And we're going to send her to Prometheus' brother. And they get married. And here's the thing. You get this box, though, this beautiful box, this ornate box. You can't ever open it. Don't ever open it. And that's all they said. Don't ever open it. Don't tell them what's inside. So, he's like, I ain't opening it. I saw it happen to my brother. He gets his liver eaten out every day by an eagle, and then it grows back overnight, and then he gets eaten out every day. Anyway, and so the Pandora's box sits there. Well, Epimetheus goes away. She gets curious. She's like, what's in this box? What's in this box? Pretty soon she takes a little peek. Boom! All the disease, all the sin, all the bad feelings come out of the box. But, there's this little creature of hope that comes out of it, too. So we always have hope in the midst of all the darkness that was released into the world.
Sounds like the Bible.
Exactly. It's the same thing. It really is. The same thing. Ancient Greeks, Bible. It's the same truth, same thing. But Zeus knew that she was going to open that box, because that's just the way it is. And so that's the same thing they do to us. We know you're going to volunteer into it. We know that if we put it in front of you, you're going to unknowingly be curious and want to do something or sign off on this or do that. They get you to volunteer to do it. I didn't do it. I just gave you the box. I told you not to open it. And then you go and open it, and then it's that's on you. And see, that's what they do. They bait you into it. They get you to agree to certain things, sign on to certain things. But it's this formula since the beginning of time to where they have to get you, because you have free will and you're a child of God. They have to get you to volunteer into it and make the decision on your own. And that's what they do. And so that everything you look at, that's exactly what happens. You're making a decision to volunteer into a system. You make the decision to walk into the casino. You make the decision to sign that document. And it's all on us. And so we just take it away. We say no. Just like you're talking about the states, giving the states power. All the states have to say is, no, F you, I'm done. Not playing anymore.
You're fired.
So
I had this conversation, or well, it wasn't a conversation, a Twitter thing with a guy, and I was like, yeah, the states need to tell the Fed they're fired. And he was like, except that the Fed funds the states. And I was like, no, the people fund the Fed.
Right. Just stop. It's the pain. It's the initial pain.
The madness.
It's the initial pain of disconnect. It's just like, it's like anything. You got all this stuff in your house and you're like, I was going through it. My daughter and I were cleaning up a room. She got stuff everywhere. And I'm like, all right, what are we getting rid of? You got to detach from this stuff. I mean, you got to tell me, here's the big black garbage bag. What's going in it? And we're going to give it away to somebody that needs it because you don't need it. It's like, all right, this is the garbage bag. This is the bag that, the keep bag. This is the bag we're giving away.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's like, you have to make that decision to say, all right, I'm letting go. You're so comfortable with all this stuff. And then pretty soon you're just like, I got to let it go. And that's the pain that the states have. It's just that initial let go. And then once you do, it's like, it wasn't so bad. I can walk in the room now.
Now I can enjoy the things I chose to keep. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, life is better. But until you make that decision and cross that threshold, and then you realize, man, remember when we were slaves to the IRS and slaves to the Fed? Mm-hmm. Oh, that sucked. Well, why didn't we do it sooner? And that's all the state's got to do. You just got to say, no, we're done. We can work it out. We're the producers. Think of a state like California, 5th biggest economy in the world. Why do they need the government to tell them what to do and rape them?
Right.
I mean, you guys produce 5th largest economy in the world. You produce all this stuff. I mean, you're your own country. Just say, no, we're done. We're disconnecting. We're going to do it our own way. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Florida, same way. What are you going to do about it? Quit depending and quit worrying about that because they don't do anything good for you. Hurricane comes in. What's FEMA do? Get in the way. Just gets in the way.
They literally,
sabotage.
Sabotage. So I worked, volunteered, but worked at this church. I had a credit card. I was able to create a budget that's submitted to the church. And I was like the head of missions for years at the church. But I didn't receive a salary because my husband didn't allow it. But anyway, I digress. But we did a lot of like mission work, and anytime there was a tornado in our area or whatever, if it was big enough where FEMA came in, we were forbidden to help or donate or whatever, because they had to be the one controlling all the donations or whatever
Yeah, look at
because
Maui.
they had to control the money and the funds, um, so that they were the one making sure that all the big guy got his
Hey, we're the
10%, or
authorized
all
vampires
the
here.
contracts were going where they were supposed to go.
Yeah,
I was like,
follow
we're just like
rules.
donating water. We're making sure these people have their power is out and they need water, and they're our neighbors, and we're bringing water in. And like,
Hang on, we got to make sure that this is legit. We got to check a database. Got to make sure you're authorized, donator and all this.
insane.
That's why you got stuff sitting in trucks in Maui when things go bad.
Right.
Meanwhile, you got people in freaking canoes, from another island bringing stuff over, and in their own little boats, bringing water and bringing supplies, and it gets to the people where the other stuff's just sitting here in a centralized place, waiting to get authorization to get distributed. It's like, no, that's not what happens. I mean, you get a storm around here, and I've seen it firsthand. 10 plus years ago, a town got hit by a tornado. Everybody just gets out, gets chainsaws out, and does their thing. Hey, we need help. It's this and that. And you do what you got to do. You get by, and that's the only thing that fixes it and gets people through. I mean, you're sitting there waiting on the government to show up with what? A paycheck. What do they get? $400 paycheck or whatever the heck it was out in Maui. Give me a break. What's that going to do for them? You can't even get goods to the islands anyway. It costs you, how much money for a case of water that gets imported.
Well, and I mean, I can see more and more. I remember I did an interview with Trex with 2K, and he remembered some of Cliff High's data about the military being like shut down or stuck, unable to come home because of, I don't know if it was fuel or they couldn't get home.
I think it was the funding because the dollar died.
Was it the funding? Okay.
I think it was the dollar died.
So I'm hearing the Ospreys got put down.
Or the parts. You can't get the parts because you can't get, just like Jim says with the ports. If that's true, nobody wants the dollar.
He listed a ton of ports that are closed.
Oh yeah, he's naming them off, and so you get to that point where there's no faith in the dollar. That's what 2008 was all about. The banks didn't trust each other,
right?
And there's like, no, I can't. We're shutting down. I mean, basically, it comes to gridlock because I can't trust you. Your cashier's check, as you've used the analogy many times. I'm not going to take a cashier check from that bank. I'm not going to take that cashier's check because I don't know if it's going to flow through the system because I don't know if you're solvent. What fixes that? A form of money that exists outside of a form of money that exists outside of government that doesn't fail when the government fails, or it doesn't fail when the bank fails. Cryptocurrency, gold and silver. I mean, real assets, food. If you can make delivery on those things, it's like, okay, yeah, cool, got my food, I'm good. Got my cigars, I'm good. Hey, you brought the whiskey? Awesome, you're good. Come on in.
I need to look this up, but Charlie was saying right before I got on that there was a story about Australia having a huge bank, like multi-bankruptcy.
There's a lot of the banks shutting down right now. A lot of the branches shutting down right now. You're seeing it all the time. So, I mean, it's just you're seeing it. We're living it in real time, and we'll look back and say, "Oh, remember that period between our kids or grandkids will say, remember that period? In the history books, look at that period between 2019 and 2025. What was that like? Well, we kind of didn't really realize it. I mean, it was happening in real time, but we just didn't have the scope to realize that. And then when you look back, you're like, there's 10,000 banks closed. Well, how did you not know that was happening? Well, it happened gradually. We were frogs in water. It was gradually, and then all of a sudden, it just ended.
Is that part of the WeWork stuff? And that shut down?
I don't know.
I don't know. Australian bankruptcy. That was a month ago.
But if you're paying attention, if you're in crypto, if you're in this conversation, if you're here right now, internally, okay, things are messed up and I need to do something. And I don't know what the answer is. I think it's crypto. It might be silver. It might be both.
It's probably some kind of transition. Or group.
We're feeling it. I mean, we know it. It's just that, think of the people who are going to be completely blindsided. And they're looking at it like, well, it's the damn Democrats doing it. Biden's fault. Well, it's the damn Republicans doing it. It's their fault. That's the Chinese doing it. It's their fault. And it's like, it's just one big, just shit show of soup. It's all the problem. And what's the root cause of it? I don't know. It's been going on for a while now.
Corruption is the root cause of it.
1913 it started, and then it kind of just got out of
Yeah.
control more and more and more and more until we lost it all.
Yeah. Corruption is the root cause of it, and we all know
Sure
that.
is.
And these derivatives and the
Fake.
repo markets
Fake.
that Bix tells us about, all of
stuff.
that is the root cause of it. And I think we all know that. So,
It's like, is somebody going to sell me a virtual cigar and I'm going to call it a cigar? No.
no,
Somebody going to sell me or sell you some virtual Tito's and you're going to call it Tito's? No.
no.
I want the real stuff, and I want to have it
Yeah.
right where I can get to it.
Yeah.
Because all this other stuff doesn't matter. You can say, oh, I got 100 cases of Tito's. Well, where's it at? I got a claim on it. I just got to go pick it up whenever I want. And then you go, and it's just a shell of a warehouse. It's not there.
I'm ready for, I've been watching
I'm going to get virtual drunk then.
I've been watching the RV lots. They are busting at the seams.
Just wait. When we have the next crash in crypto, we're gonna have one more crash. I don't think Bitcoin's going over 50,000. I think it'll hover in the 40s, and then the alts will run a little bit, and then I think we're gonna have an event. It could be the January 29th thing, but before probably May of next year, we're gonna have that last moment where the bankers come in and they scare everybody out of their crypto and they scoop up as much as they can. Then after that, it's game over. So these RVs are going to be sitting, these big trucks, these EVs, all these assets are going to be sitting. And then your crypto, your silver, your gold is all going to just go freaking ballistic.
I don't know about the gold. Okay.
I say silver and crypto. F the gold.
Silver and crypto, because
maybe gold.
I kind of think
sure.
okay, none of this is financial advice.
No,
I'm just a
happy
mom,
hour bar drinking.
a stay-at-home mom. We're just at the bar drinking.
I'm a stay-at-home dad.
So the Basel 3 thing, Basel 3, however, or Basel 4, whatever the hell it's called.
Good for you.
I don't even know what I'm talking
Not
about.
Basil's bad.
But
It's like Tower of Babel.
I kind of have this gut thing, and I'm totally uneducated about this, but I wonder so you see the banks filling up on it. There was a story today about a whale.
Filling up on what? Gold? Okay.
Gold is the only tier 1 asset right now.
Yeah.
And then I think it's January, Bitcoin becomes a tier 1 or something like that. So that the banks can choose that. But there's something about, there was a story on Twitter about a whale that they get this disease and their bowels fill up with something, and it's called floating gold. And here it is. Hold on.
Ambergris?
Yes.
There's one for you. That's like homunculus. Go look up those two words. Weird
so
words.
Before I saw this story, I was like, well, wait a minute. Is this the way that like they let them fill up on gold because that's like the rich people's money?
Blow them up.
And they're going to fill up on gold, and then they're going to release the gold out of the Grand Canyon
and say, guess what?
They're going to be holding nothing.
Down to the bottom you go. Hey, I look at it. The first thing I thought about when you said tier 1 asset, and here it is, I'm leaking my cliff.
Your ambergris.
Ambergris, yeah, ambergris.
$500,000 worth of floating gold found in a dead whale. When I read this, my gut said they're all going to be dead whales holding floating gold.
And when you said tier 1, I thought tier like cry. So if you're holding it tier 1 assets, you're going to be tier number 1.
This is what I'm thinking.
Because I don't know that that's going to save your ass.
So I'm just saying.
My gut feeling tells you it is.
You guys,
if it isn't. Silver will.
Yeah, it makes perfume, Mr. Yulfing. Yes, but I think that this is my gut. Whale vomit. I understand, but it's just perfume. And remember that, like, Jesus said, like, what's the whole biblical story on that about, like, don't waste it or pour the oil or put it on my feet, or
I don't know. I know he got his feet cleaned.
There's a story about that. And she poured it on her hair and then washed Jesus's feet with her hair.
something like do it waste on me or something. I don't
Yeah,
remember it.
it's something like I don't know.
There's a lesson.
There's a there. I'm just saying, you guys pay attention.
No, I agree with you. My spidey sense, my gut feeling has always been that gold is not going to be the answer.
It's not
because
going to be.
they're presenting it as the answer. And that's why you had the whole Wizard of Oz thing. I mean,
Yes.
gold's the answer. That's the path. That's the only
It's
path. It's like
not.
Dorothy says, no, I got silver slippers. I can go anywhere I want with these.
Mhm.
I can go anywhere I want.
Because a tangible thing, because think about like paper money enslaved us. Anytime a thing is how anytime we monetize our value, our worth, we're enslaved, even if it's gold or silver. Silver will be used for healing, for medicine,
Just think it
for
moves energy better than anything else. Think about that.
energy
It
transfer,
moves
whatever.
energy better than
Eventually,
anything.
like when Bix and I had that conversation, oh, it's my dogs. Oh God, that scared me.
Oh, dog man hit the door.
We removed one of their little baby gates, and we've given them more free range in the house, so they've never been able to run back here and hit the door. So,
like my dogs, they have like total free reign. You know, there's like more free will than I have. Anyway.
Yeah, I got now one of them running in the room. I'm like, oh God, scare me to.
Love it.
Sorry. But once we get to the point where we're exchanging our IP and our energy with each other and whatever.
That's your true self. That's who you are. That's your essence that you're exchanging.
But
And
this whole gold thing, I think that's how they're going to take down the banks.
Yeah, because that's the tier one thing. That's the thing everybody needs to hold. And I mean, if it goes along and they kick the can down the road, that's what they've always done. They've said, all right, the money crashed. Use whatever excuse you want. Well, I guess we're gonna have to back it by gold. You know, and that's always worked out for them. Well, what if this time it doesn't? What if this time the play is, you know, white hats roll in and say, yeah, okay, cool, yeah, gold, get all the gold you want, yeah, keep hoarding the gold because that's always the answer. And then boom, open up the Grand Canyon, boom, flood it. It's like enough gold for everybody. Yep. Oh shit, central bank's holding all the gold. Now what? What are we worth?
Who had
we're a whale that goes to the bottom of the ocean because we got so much gold we're choking on it. I don't know.
Did somebody have a dream about the bridge going down?
I don't know. Did somebody see the Mothman?
I don't know.
Point Pleasant.
I'm just thinking of London Bridge is falling down.
Yeah, City of London.
Well, but could it just be Lake Havasu City, where that bridge has to do?
That's where it's at now, right?
London Bridge. There's agreements and that Colorado River, and you know there's issues with there's things about that whole water system. Anyway, I probably should have left that alone. I don't know. There's things that could happen, and then if that water system were to have a flood or something, and then like the gold was exposed, and
just shining
as the Grand
gold on the
Canyons,
side of the mountain. Holy cow!
Yeah, that would be amazing.
There's a lot of gold out there. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. And then didn't Cliff say that in the spring people would be like leaving their jobs because they weren't paying enough to make the rent? And
he's seen that for a long time.
And having like trips where it's like, hey, let's go out there and just have a fun time digging like for gold in the national park.
See, that's another thing. The national parks, you got to think, what are they there for? What are they locking up? Bix makes the argument that they're locking up all this federal land. They're locking up resources. They're locking things up, locking up Sasquatches and dogmen. I mean, they're keeping these things corralled. They're holding all these secrets back. That's symbolic of that. They're holding all this stuff back while they have control. What happens if they lose control? What happens if the government no longer can control the narrative? What happens if
they shut down? Jim says they're shut down.
Right. And what happens if they shut down and then all these things come rolling out and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, we've been lied to about a lot of stuff. They're just kind of protecting it, trying to maintain this control structure. I mean, look at all these freaking national parks all over the country, and you think nobody goes there, and if they do, they disappear. What's in there? I mean, what is it there for? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a big secret.
We're going to find out, I think.
Yeah. If we find out, you better get your head right. You better be right. You better be able to trust yourself. You better be able to look through the deception. You better be able to, you know, you got to control the narrative of your own life and your own path. That's what you're here for. You came for a reason, and you can check out early if you want to. But if you're going to fight this battle, and if you're going to transition us into the new, enlightenment, the age of Aquarius, where the knowledge pours out, the only human on the zodiac, where the water bearer pours out the water of knowledge all over your head. Are you going to drown? Or are you going to be, drinking it up and thriving from it? And that's really what it comes down to. That's where we're at. And so it's up to you individually to be able to handle it or not handle it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't have the perfect thing pulled up for your comment. Let me see if I can do it real quick.
What a team. Wonder Twin powers activate.
Mm-hmm.
Form of truth. Form of justice.
I want to try it.
You're gonna drink. Drink? Woo! Woo! I feel good.
That just never gets old for me. Are you going to drink at that fountain? Woo! I feel I love that little girl. Yeah. And you have to understand, Charlie and I were having this conversation today, like, what's right for you? When you say, Westwood always says, trust yourself.
Yes.
What's right for you and your family? It may be different for the person next to you.
Yeah.
And that's true freedom. Like, be
Right.
excited for them that their journey is different. And like, that's how we have freedom. And that's how we have abundance for everyone, is that what they need is different. Like when I'm in that house at that estate sale, you know what? She really wanted the pumpkin. I really wanted the pumpkin, but you know what? I'm happy she got the blow mold pumpkin, because
Maybe she needed that pumpkin.
I really wanted something else. And I got a whole video that you guys can watch here in about 10
You got to think,
minutes.
what's the one thing you want? Go for that one thing. Don't
Go for the one thing
Don't
you
go
want.
for second,
Yeah.
third, and fourth place. Get the one.
Right.
And if you get a third place, that's cool. But I
That's
want the
cool.
one.
Yeah.
There's one thing I want, and I'm going for it. And
Because
if I get that, I'm good.
yeah, there is abundance for all of us. This earth is full of abundance because energy never goes away. It just transfers. And so
get your heirloom seeds. And
yes,
then start a
that's
little, thing, and put one little tomato seed that looks like it can't do anything because it'll fly away in the wind. It's so
they
light and dried
found a
out.
tomato in space today that's been missing for 9 years.
There you go. You put that seed in the ground. Next thing you know, you got a tree full of fruit with abundance.
That's right.
All right, it's just all it takes is one little seed,
One
little thing, one little action. You just got to take the action, and then boom. Next thing you know, look at the beauty that this earth provides.
I'm going to put the link to my little Mighty Merchants. I cut a little video of our little adventures today. I'm going to put it in the live chat for you guys to check out.
Road to Hell is paved with unclaimed, hand-blown pumpkins.
That's right. Well, this is a blow mold, so it's plastic, and I didn't get it.
Pumpkins, okay.
But I got a curio cabinet, and so I'm only 5'2", well, ish.
I don't know.
Depending on what shoes I wear.
5'8", and then when I'm next to you, I mean, I don't know.
But I usually wear heels, so I seem taller, and I'm loud, mostly.
Yeah, so it makes you seem.
I seem a little taller, and I'm Southern, so my hair is.
Yeah, you got it all going on. Yeah, you're right.
I seem a little bigger than.
Lovely Litecoin Lisa has it all going on.
In real life, I seem larger than life.
She's larger than life in real life.
But anyway, so I tried to shoot this video, and then I got so excited, and then that lady went for my blow mold, and I forgot to turn on the video. So I had to.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah, I thought it got a little. Anyway, you can watch the video later, but I did make up for it in spades. So if you guys will go watch that little, I did just a little short and wrap up and kind of showed you what we got on the Mighty Merchants channel. And then we're doing a special, I did a coupon from now till Christmas. And so I talk about that. So you can kind of see what our day was and see what Charlie had for breakfast. Breakfast of Champions over there.
Huevos.
You can check it out here in about 8 minutes. It will be live, and I'll be on the premiere chat here in about 8 minutes.
Y'all got to chat it up.
Yeah, we can chat it up. And then Jenny Moonstone, Jim said in an hour and a half, I believe, or maybe that's his time. So that would be in 30 minutes.
Oh, Lord.
If that's right.
How long's your premiere?
Oh, like 13 minutes or 10 minutes or something.
Well,
Yeah,
there you go.
it's like short. And then it's just a fun little video. And then I just showed you what I got. And then it's just a fun little video. And then I will see you guys. Oh, we're going to have maybe an epic video next week for Very Dow. Joe Rotes is a yes. Jeremy Hogan is a yes. Maybe Stephen, I can't pronounce his last name, but I will learn how to. The Eathgate guy, talking about like the SEC's journey or role in boundaries and stuff, jurisdiction. So that should be really interesting. Then let me see. What else?
SEC won't let me be. Won't let me be.
Yeah, there's some other stuff. Oh man, there's some more like amazing. You guys follow that lawsuit that ICANN is doing with Elon and Mark Cuban for insider trading. They've got another one rolling out soon in the next few weeks with somebody that I know.
The thing with Elon, he's got the money to fight whatever he wants to fight.
Oh, he's not paying for it.
Yeah, and so there you go. That's the true billionaire style. Why pay for it?
Yeah, there's more coming out. There's more coming out all the time. So there are a lot of cases in the Supreme Court right now, and there are a lot of cases. If you listen carefully, you will be hearing the words tribunal. You just have to listen. So
it's like 3 people, right? Tribunal.
It's happening. It's like 3 judges or more. Yeah, it's my understanding.
Bring it. Don't sing it. Let's see it.
All right, guys. Well, I'll see you over on the Mighty Merchants, and then maybe a Spaces after.
Maybe a Spaces. Mark Weems is asking. And I would say hit 1 if you want to hear me do Spaces tonight. Hit 2 if you really don't care.
We all want
Hey,
it.
Litecoin's starting to move. You know, my thinking was you're going to have one more monthly red, possibly red, tight candle of Litecoin against Bitcoin, and that's going to take off at the beginning of next year. I think we might see the bell of the spring ball next year. I mean, it's poised, it's ready to spring up, and it's starting to creep up. That's what Litecoin does. And then all of a sudden, look out. You're going to be caught out. And you're going to say, why didn't I get some? That Westwood guy, that's all he preached about. That's all he talked about.
That's not all he talked about, but yeah.
Bash him. Okay, whatever. Sound money for the digital age. Remember those words.
You guys know it. You know what to do. Follow Westwood. Hit links to Westwood's channel and to follow him on Twitter. Go to clintwestwood.net for resources, free resources, training, teaching, all kinds of great stuff. Go there. Check it out.
If you want to get learned, go to clintwestwood.net.
If you want to know how to spell it. Oh my gosh. Okay. One more thing before we go really quick. Maybe I won't do that. I'll tell you on Spaces. Follow Westwood.
Oh, you got to get on
Twitter.
Spaces. Got to get on X.
And I'm going to tell you.
Twitter after hours.
I want to know what you guys think about this idea where my husband can he can spell things amazing, but he can't say the word. And I want to know, is this a thing for everyone? Robinson, but he can spell Robinson.
Spell it, but he can't say it.
How does that happen? I don't know.
Some people can say it, but they can't spell it. Interesting.
See you on Mighty Merchants.